The gift of seeing through the veil I stand here, a soul shaped by the unique rhythm of my mind, one that dances to a cadence others might call disordered, obsessive, compulsive, scattered, yet piercingly clear. I have come to see my neurodivergence not as a burden, but as a sacred lens, a gift that lets me peer through the fog of deception that blankets the world. In my family, where lies were woven into the fabric of our history, where manipulation and misdirection were handed down like heirlooms, I was born with a mind that could not conform to their shadowed ways. My thoughts, racing and relentless, fixated on patterns, truths, and the raw essence of things, refused to bend to the distortions that others accepted as normal. For this I was hated, for this I was cast out. But in that exile I found my strength. From my earliest days I saw the world differently. Where others saw harmony in the rituals of deceit, white lies to smooth egos, half truths to maintain power, I saw only dissonance. My family's ways, their whispered plots and calculated facades, were as transparent to me as glass. I could not unsee the contradictions, the way their words clashed with their actions, the way they smiled while scheming. My obsessive mind latched onto these inconsistencies, dissecting them with a precision that felt both like a curse and a calling. My attention, though it wandered from mundane tasks, would lock on to the subtle shifts in tone, the fleeting glances that betrayed hidden motives. I saw the rule of their lies, the machinery of their manipulations, and it set me apart. This clarity, this inability to play along with the charade, made me a threat, not just to my family, but to the unspoken codes that govern so much of the world. I refused to follow their scripts, their stereotypes, their judgments, their narrow paths of what it means to belong. I carved my own way, guided not by their expectations, but by a deeper sense of truth, one that pulsed within me like a heartbeat, whether through faith, through the ideas I championed, or through the simple act of being myself. I defied their status quo, and for that I was ostracized not just by kin, but by peers, by colleagues, by the communities I moved through. They saw my refusal to conform as rebellion, my insistence on truth as arrogance, but I saw it as freedom. The world, I've learned, is built on a fragile web of illusions. People cling to their fantasies, their comforting lies, because the truth is a mirror they dare not face. They lie to themselves first, crafting stories to justify their contradictions, their double standards, their whispered betrayals. They speak of honor while acting in self-interest, preach love while sowing division. This is the matrix they've built, a world of doublespeak and misdirection, where hypocrisy is not just tolerated, but celebrated. They call it pragmatism, diplomacy, survival. But I see it for what it is, a refusal to live authentically, a fear of the raw, unfiltered truth. And yet I understand why they fear it. The truth is a fire, it burns away pretense, exposes vulnerability, demands accountability. Most cannot bear its weight. They'd rather live in a dream, a carefully curated fantasy where their flaws are hidden, their motives unquestioned. But for someone like me, wired to see through the veil, that dream is uninhabitable. My neurodivergence, my obsessive focus, my restless attention, my inability to accept the superficial, makes it impossible to live in their world of shadows. I cannot speak one thing and do another. I cannot wear the mask of hypocrisy. And in that I found both my burden and my blessing. To be neurodivergent in a neurotypical world is to walk a lonely path. The society we inhabit thrives on deception, from the subtle to the overt. It's in the schools, where conformity is rewarded and truth tellers are punished. It's in the workplaces, where ambition often trumps integrity. It's in the very culture, where the loudest voices are those that bend the truth to fit their narrative. Even in places of faith, where one might hope for purity of spirit, the same patterns emerge, dogma over authenticity, ritual over truth. I think of the one who spoke unyielding truth to the powerful, who called out the hypocrisy of the self-righteous, and was crucified for it. The world has not changed so much since then. Those who speak truth are still shunned, still labeled deviant, still cast out. But I am not alone in this. There are others, those whose minds, like mine, refuse to bend to the world's illusions. We are the autistic, the ADHD, the obsessive, the ones who feel the world too deeply, who see its contradictions too clearly. We are not wired for hypocrisy. We cannot live the double lives that others slip into so easily. Our thoughts, our words, our actions, they must align, or the dissonance tears us apart. This is our gift, though it often feels like a curse. We see the world as it is, not as it pretends to be. We see the lies, the manipulations, the plots woven into the fabric of everyday life. And though the world may reject us for it, we carry a light that cannot be extinguished. I have come to embrace this gift, to see it as a sacred charge. To live truthfully in a world of lies is an act of courage, a defiance of the status quo. It is not easy. The weight of being different, of being ostracized, can crush even the strongest spirit. But I have learned that my strength lies not in conforming, not in silencing my truth to fit their world, but in standing firm in who I am. My neurodivergence is not a flaw. It is a lens that reveals the world's hidden truths. It is a compass that guides me through the fog of deception. It is a fire that burns away the lies. To those who walk this path with me, who feel the world's dissonance and refuse to add to it, I say this: you are not broken. You are not wrong. You are gifted with a vision that others cannot fathom. The world may try to dim your light, to silence your truth, but do not let it. Your clarity, your authenticity, your refusal to live in their fantasy, these are your strengths. They are what make you a threat to the illusions that bind so many. They are what make you a beacon for those who seek something real. I walk this path not because it is easy, but because it is mine. I see the lies, the manipulations, the double standards, and I choose to speak against them. I choose to live in alignment with the truth that burns within me, no matter the cost. For in that truth I find my purpose. In that truth I find my freedom. And in that truth I find the courage to be exactly who I am, a soul that sees through the veil, a soul that will not be silenced.